The owners of the Park Royal Hotel in beautiful West Vancouver are committed to quality and good taste and are pleased to sponsor Chefs About Town, Vancouver's refreshingly different cooking series. Chefs About Town is also brought to you in part by the owners of Cafe Roma. Cafe Roma is where you can taste what Italian food is all about.
Hi, my name is Gary Faessler and welcome again to Chefs About Town. We're here at Sooke Harbour House on the southwest side of Vancouver Island in beautiful Sook, British Columbia. And my guest with me is Sinclair Philip, proprietor, owner of the Harbour House. And let's try this wine. Welcome. Cheers. Welcome to Sooke Harbour House. Thank you. You focus on regional foods.
Gary, we focus entirely on local organic foods in season here. Our menu changes completely every day.
And seasonality, that's important.
Seasonality is very important. It guarantees freshness. It guarantees that things mature on the vine rather than in a freight car. We know where things have come from. They are truly organic.
You focus and specialize on seafood and fish because we're, as our viewers can see, we're here right by the ocean at Whiff and Spit Bay here.
Yes, we have a large fishing fleet in Sook that comes in practically daily. We get gooey ducks right in front of the house. Lots of local abalone, there's sea urchin, sea cucumber, wolf eel, giant sculpin, beautiful salmon. They're getting a lot of salmon over 50 pounds right now. Practically every day there's one coming in over the 40-pound range at this time of year. It's an excellent area for fishing.
A lot of those items that you mentioned too, the wolfish, the sculpin, the capazon, there's capazon as well, greenling, and these are all fish that are abundant here in our waters but aren't really marketed commercially, you know, in a strong sense.
Well, they're marketed but not in Canada. Most of them are exported to Japan or to Europe, to the quality fish markets there, and it's very hard to even purchase some of these things because foreign countries have contracted for the entire catch.
Right, right. So there's a bigger market for these things overseas than there is here. That's very unfortunate. It
is, but I think things are turning around slowly but surely. Canadians are eating more seafood as time goes by. Particularly as the quality improves.
Do some spectacular dishes here, and as we said, with some of our unique seafood here in British Columbia, and one of I think our best chefs in British Columbia, probably in Canada, certainly is here at Pia Carroll.
Pia's cooked in this area for probably more than 15 years, and she's been at the Sooke Harbour House for 10 years and did quite a lot to build our reputation. And because she lives on the beach and she's very familiar with local produce, she's totally in tune with this area, and she's a master gardener in addition to everything else, which helps in a place like this where we have well over an acre of intensive gardening for the restaurant.
You have something like 400 different herbs and edible flowers here on the grounds, don't you?
Well, I think so. Just from where I'm seated, I think that I can see something in the neighborhood of 40 or 50 edible flowers or herbs.
Sinclair, thanks for having me over, and really enjoyed it. I look forward to cooking with Pia.
Well, I look forward to watching you cook with Pia and eating some of the food.
Okay, thanks again. See you in Vancouver. Hello, my name is Gary Faessler, and welcome to Chefs About Town, the show for people who really love good food. We're here at the Market Kitchen Cooking School down at Granville Island Market. You know, here on Chefs About Town, we delve into the seductive world of cooking and eating. And with me tonight is, I'm very excited, is one of the co-chefs at the Sooke Harbour House on Vancouver Island, Pia Carroll. Welcome, Pia.
Thank you. Pregnant at that. But
pregnant and not really horribly fat, but pregnant.
Nicely rotund.
Yes. What are we going to work on tonight?
Okay, here we have some lovely coho salmon. And with that we're making a Marion Berry.
What are Marion berries?
Yes.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of what these are, and these are from British Columbia.
They are, and they're actually ready before the local blackberries. They are a cross between a Loganberry and a blackberry. And so this is a Logan. I'm going to confuse you, but see how they're very similar, but that's black because that's the influence of...
And the Marion berries taste a lot like blackberries too.
Yes, the Loganberries are very sharp, and they have inherited the quality, the sharpness, and you taste the sharp, but then there's a lovely sweet taste afterwards, and they're really delightful.
Good.
So that's what I'm
So we're going to do two
feature.
fish?
Yes, this is sablefish here, which I have a
sable
big one there.
Now, a lot of people know this fish as
black cod.
Black cod, and you may have seen black cod at your fishmonger, fish butcher, in kind of an orange.
Yes, dyed a nice orange. It is dyed, but we don't. You know, it's a shame you have to do that, so we're not going to abuse it. And I have a fillet ready to go here, and both of these fish I'm going to steam in this steamer. And you can buy these steamers in Chinatown. They're very, very versatile, and it's just and keep the flavor of the fish in there, in its, you know, in its whole self.
So it's a good way to prepare fish.
Yes, it is. It's very healthy too. And what I'm going to do, these berries look very similar. This was, believe it or not, this came from 1881 by Judge J.H. Logan in California. He devised this this one. It was a dewberry, and I think it was a raspberry. But anyway, he came up with this, and I guess it was named after him. And I'm going to feature the sablefish here with the Logan, and finish it off with a lovely fresh dill. And I will make a butter sauce with that. And because it is sharp, I might just use a little bit of maple syrup here. And what I want to do with the salmon, steam it and use this Marion berry. But I've already started it just to speed up the process.
Squeezing this, or?
Yes, because I want to, as I'm going to use a butter here, I don't always want to repeat. So I'm just going to get my spatula.
Right.
No, the rubber one.
Oh gosh, yes.
There's that nice white one over there in the sink.
Oh, I moved it. My fault.
Thank you. I'm just going to put this through. Some people don't like seeds, you know, in the fruit, and also because this is we're going to use most of this as the body for the sauce. We're not going to use a butter to finish at the end. No, I thought we would just do something a little different here and make it a little bit healthy. I'll give that to you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Take that away.
So I'm passing this through a very fine mesh, because otherwise you're going to get the seeds coming through. See, it's a gorgeous colour.
Always a good idea too, I think, a sieve berries that you put through a Cuisinart or Robocoup.
Yes.
And you know, it's not pleasant to get these things in your teeth anyway.
No. And you know, if you're making sorbets or anything like that for mousses, it's always good to just... Isn't that rich? I know, it's super. It really is lovely. And I'm going to highlight the dish just with, you have some very nice plates, or one plate for the salmon down there, and I'm going to highlight it with a little yellow just for the show.
Just for the show. Okay.
Now, if you could rinse that for me, and you can take that with you,
I'll
thanks.
be back in a moment.
He's off and running, and I have the steamer working. I'll just move this to one side. Now, I've already taken the bones out of the salmon, and I used a pair of tweezers, which I don't have here right now, just to remove them, because it's very nice to be able to eat your fish without focusing on any bones or anything like that. Right here on this ridge, this is a fillet of the sable. You can feel that those bones there, and I'm just going to snip down here. And what you can do, always save these scraps. That was full of the bone, for stock. And when you have odd little pieces like this, you can always put them in a fish mousse or a little pate or something like that. So we're going to have just two different shapes here. I'm going to have, I'll just design it now. We'll cook the salmon, we'll steam it just like that. And this one we'll just steam it a little different. You can go at different angles. It's up to you what you want to do. If you feel like doing angles, then you do it. If you wanted to go straight across, you could.
That's right, because cooking is really just more of an art than a science. And just play around with it.
It's so easy to follow books, and I mean, we all started by following books and recipes, and oh my God, a quarter inch of this or a quarter teaspoon or what have you of that. You had to follow it.
You wind up, it doesn't work out, and you wonder why.
Yeah, well, if it's a really good, reputable recipe, then it's okay, but over the years you just get used to, you know, you feel better about your ingredients, you know them, and so you just feel very confident, so that's fine. So what we'll do is, we'll start the sauces on this lovely stove.
Do we have to burner on? No. Okay.
Okay.
Got both fires on.
Yeah, and I have the fish stock that I've made all ready to go.
Now,
a little bit.
We've discussed many times in this show about fish stock. If you don't feel that you have the time or the energy to make your own fish stock, then you can always purchase it at the down here at Granville Island Market at the stock market.
That's right.
But I would like more people to make their own stocks, because fish stock as well is a very easy stock to make.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, it is, and you know, you don't need it to make gallons of it, because like we do in a commercial business, because at home you can just use so much. Put them in ice cube trays, and that's a really good way of using them when you
freeze it.
Yeah,
yes,
freeze them, and then you've got little ice cubes and so it is very handy.
Of course, you know, if you want any of the recipes to this show or any other show, of course, you can write in to the address, which will be displayed later after the show, to the Market Kitchen Cooking School, or you can always refer to any of your cookery books that they have it as well.
Now here I'm adding some pureed shallot and garlic. This is for the salmon, which I'll put on now. Okay, lift the lid for me. And I've got that, I'll just show you. See, it's just barely. We'll turn that down just a little bit.
Okay.
How are we doing for time?
We're fine.
Good, okay, I'll place those in there.
Time.
Okay, so that we don't have to keep an eye on that.
Lots of time.
And we're using a delicious, look at this.
Yes.
Pinot Noir.
Rex Hill, a Pinot Noir from Oregon.
I'm going to use that in both sauces because we, yourself included, you're drinking this, I'm not, but...
Yeah. So, in this sauce we have stock.
We have stock, we have the wine, and shallot and garlic. Yes, and in this one we just have the fish stock and the wine. And I'm going to add the Marion Berry. If I could have the spatula, please.
You bet.
Thanks. And we should turn this down. It's this one, isn't it?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Sure. I think it's this one.
Well, okay.
Well, you just turn that up, actually.
All right, we'll just turn that down.
Here. You want this one down, right?
Yes.
Okay, there it is.
Look at that colour.
Absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah. And this fish stock that I've made, I did reduce it. I've talked about that earlier, but I'll just mention it again. Mm-hmm. It's not just the normal strength. It is. I cooked it when it was in the stock form. I cooked it down, so it brings out a better flavour of the fish.
Basically, you've evaporated a lot of the liquid, and so you've left a lot of the intense flavors. I'm just going to taste this. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. See, I find that quite pleasing, and that's why I just wanted to keep it. And it's got a lovely body to it now. I'll just reduce it a little bit more, but I like that it's sort of tart and sweet at the same time.
It is.
You can't get that from just the Logan because they're too strong. That's why I'm going to cut it with a little bit of maple syrup.
Okay.
Which I like doing.
How's our fish doing?
Well, it's
okay.
About a third done, so.
Okay. Why I'm concerned is because we don't want to overcook the fish.
Oh, definitely not.
At all.
No, it doesn't take long at all. In the steamer, it's a little slower. Excuse me, could you bring in my pot of water?
Sure. There you go.
Thanks. This is just a pot of water I keep handy. it's a habit from work, and just to have. Okay, that's reducing nicely. To this, I'm going to add a little apple vinegar. Make sure
So
it really gets.
The apple vinegar will give this sauce a little spark, a little bite.
Yes, and it's when you're making a butter sauce, you need that real high acid to be for the liaison and everything.
The melding of the flavors and the...
That's right. This burner is
on?
Off. We turn it off now.
Okay. Make sure. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, there we go.
And you can take a peek at the fish. Let's have a look in here.
Take a look.
Yeah, it's coming. See?
Yeah.
You can see the dark patches where I've taken the.
But it's still very raw. You can see it. Yeah.
And the sable is almost ready, so I dirtied the plate again.
I want to mention too that sablefish again is one of our better fish here in British Columbia, and it's not. I don't think that it's used a lot.
No, it's not. I mean,
I think a lot of people are intimidated to cook with it. And again, as we mentioned earlier on in the show, it's often thought of as black cod and it's already smoked or something, and with orange dye, and people steam it in milk or something. But the sablefish itself, just natural and steamed or grilled. It's a beautiful fish. It's very fatty,
it's
flavorful.
wonderful.
It's one of my favorite fish.
Yes, it is. It's really, I love it. In fact, we could take that off now, Gary, if you like.
Take it off?
Yeah. Now, just move this over here. And could you put a few paper towels on this plate?
Sure.
And we'll put it on there.
Put that down here.
Here.
Okay, I'll just grab these.
What I'm doing here, I just want to crush some of these, see how the beautiful color comes out. It's so fabulous this time of year to have all these colors to work with. Yes, it just needs a little lift. Lovely maple syrup from Quebec. You can't beat that. Just cook it down a little bit more.
So you want me to take the salmon out as well?
Let's check that. Yes, that looks lovely.
Just put on the paper
See how
towel?
quick that is? Yes, there's a lot of moisture in that, so we just drain it well. Just add some cubed unsalted butter. We use hardly any salt in our cooking over at the Harbour House. There's no need. There's a lot of flavors you establish. Once you stop using salt, then your taste buds become really alive, and
appreciate the natural sugars and salt.
The subtleties of the herbs and
ingredients that you've used.
Yeah, that's right. So you really don't need to use them.
I feel very strongly about one of the basic fundamentals of cooking or cookery is to use the very best ingredients possible. You know, the ingredients that are picked ripe on the vine or fresh from the sea.
And we're so lucky
right away.
Where we live to be in that environment. It is wonderful.
Well, absolutely. In British Columbia, it's a virtual cornucopia here of fruits and vegetables and fish and shellfish and meat.
Yes, we just have to keep searching and using them and believing in them, and you know, this is what we get.
But again, if you get back to the best ingredients, you don't need to use a lot of salt, MSG, and chilies and
no, you should just do without it.
And stuff. Yeah, you want the flavor of the food.
That's right. Throw MSG away, and salt you need sometimes, and a few things with meat, I believe. But yeah, you can throw the others away.
I put the salmon on this great place. What we wanted to do.
Not yet.
I can't remember.
What we're going to do with this, just that spatula.
Yes.
Bring this plate over here.
Okay.
A lovely plate.
Yes.
Okay, this is the Marion Berry is going with the salmon. And if I might just use that metal spatula, please. Thank you. Or just lift that up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I can put that back there, and I'll just have a clean. It's always good to have a clean surface. And you see the little pockets of the moisture? Just drain that a little bit, and then you don't have that coming out on your plate.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's applicable to all fish.
Whether you grill, steam, saute, it's a good idea to put the fish on a cloth or paper towel to absorb the excess liquid.
This is going to be very dramatic and gorgeous.
Stunning.
just leave it at that for a minute.
I love this plate.
Yes. And, excuse me, just slide that on there. Look at that. Quite something. With a little yellow, maybe.
A local salmon, wild salmon with
nasturtiums.
nasturtium flowers.
Yes.
Now, nasturtium flowers, more than just they're very attractive and they're pretty, but they also complement this dish very well because they're very peppery and hot.
Not so much.
Slightly.
Yes, you're quite correct with the leaf, which we have. They're fading a little bit here, but we have these leaves here. They do. That's lovely in making a nasturtium butter, flour and flour sauce. But this doesn't. The flowers are a lot more delicate.
Are they?
There you go.
Okay.
Look at that.
Wow. I'm just going to hold this out for a sec. Can we get a good shot of that?
I'll walk behind you.
And absolutely fantastic.
And the same thing, we'll just do the same procedure here. Find a little corner that's clean.
I think I'll just put this right here.
And just, this is the one with the butter.
I'm going to have a bit of this wine actually. The wine I picked tonight, as we've been cooking with, is a Pinot Noir.
Yes, and look at the lovely, it tastes wonderful, the body, but they gave a lovely...
Now, a lot of people may be thinking red wine with fish, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
This is a very light, delicate wine that's is fruity, has a nice nose and flavor to it. And this is it's an exceptional wine from Oregon.
This is why it's a little easier to use a very clean, of course, tea cloth than it is the paper towel, because paper towels are okay, but we can use the tea cloth and
paper towels tend to stick a bit too.
Yeah, think of recycling as well.
Right.
See how this flakes apart? Look at that.
Well, I know, because it flaked apart before, and I've been kind of like picking it up and eating it.
Oh, it's just a gorgeous. If ever I want to do a very, very special dinner, I would take the time to separate it into segments, and then you can just sort of fan it out on a plate, you know.
Right, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it really is lovely.
And isn't it stunning on a white plate, though?
Yes, yes. These plates are, and you can just play around. You just don't need too many.
So this is the Loganberry.
Yeah.
With a little dill.
That's right.
Oh God, it tastes.
And there's the dill.
Tastes so good.
There.
Oh, spectacular! And this is the other dish. Ha ha!
Let's eat.
Let's eat. So, for people who aren't familiar with Sooke Harbour House, you focus on foods from British Columbia, using ingredients when in season.
Yes, and we use the Northwest as well.
And the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, as well.
Meaning
but
Oregon,
we are
Washington.
trying to make it more, you know, I mean, just focusing, as you say, on British Columbia, because the things are here.
Let's put this back here.
These berries, for instance, came from a delightful woman in Mechosin, Shady Lane Farms, and she's organic and
which is right by Sook, isn't it?
Yes, it's very close proximity. We we have to do a lot of traveling and to get our things, but
right.
You know, she handpicks all her berries for us, and she uses such care, and we find that that's people when they get to know us, because we do care about it being organic and local, then they are responding to that more and more. So
that's terrific.
we're just over the years developing our repertoire.
So you get rabbit from this area as well, don't you?
Yes, from a chosen.
You get free-range eggs, and you get...
Yes, free-range eggs, that's right. And
you get fish,
veal,
catches
kid,
of fish, and
lamb.
all sorts of things.
Yes, yeah,
it's a real treat.
Oh, it is, it's
and
wonderful.
your gardens, too.
Oh, beautiful.
Your kitchen, by the way, Sooke Harbour House is right on the water.
Yeah.
And down Whiffenspit Road, Sook Bay, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
And
we're very fortunate.
Your kitchen looks out over the ocean, and
right now, yes.
Your gardens are like right now are just incredible, and they have like 400
for July
different varieties of herbs, edible flowers, and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's almost 90% is totally edible in the landscaping, which is a great feat to have. The owners have worked very hard for that. So, hats off to them.
You're very spoiled, aren't you? Because
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of cooks and chefs out there who would just go crazy over
Yeah, it really opens up the avenues for your flair.
the inspiration.
You know? Oh yes.
Of going outside. And
it's
just
continual. I
seeing
mean,
what's
you have a new herb maybe, or you know, a new flower can come up, and so it just keeps escalating like that. It really is fabulous.
So you
Yeah.
have trout or lamb or whatever, and you go outside and you can pick this herb or that herb and think,
That's
I
right.
wonder if this would go well with
Yeah,
with
and you
this.
can go with the weather that day, how you know how you feel and how you think people will feel. That's
Because
a good gauge.
That's important too, and I don't want people to laugh at that because you cook from feel.
Yes.
A lot, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, for
and
sure.
that's really important.
Yeah.
As I said it before, cooking is an art, not a science. And,
Yeah. The
and it's
feel,
to
the
be
look,
learned.
all the senses to enjoy.
And what we've done here is, as you can see, it's very simple. It took very little time. We've done 2 dishes for you. However, not to, you know, you have to watch over what you're doing, and it does take practice. But
Oh yeah, this is skill.
it's a skill.
Yeah,
and
that's right. That's involved, and
it's a passion.
yeah.
Anyway, we have to go. We're out of
Okay,
time.
too bad.
Pia Carroll,
I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
for coming over, and when's the baby due?
October.
So very soon.
Very
While
soon.
this show's airing, perhaps. Okay.
Oh, elsewhere, yes,
Yeah,
it might
that's
be.
right. Okay. My special guest tonight has been Pia Carroll from Sooke Harbour House. My name is Gary Faessler. Until we see you next time, enjoy and please eat well. Goodbye now.
Bye.
Cheers.